The digital world and children's brains. Understanding correctly to accompany your child. Hello parents and those interested in the development of young children. Today, we will discuss a topic that I believe many of us are concerned about. How the internet is affecting our children. Especially their developing brains. It is a fact that children's frequent exposure to and use of the internet is indeed changing the way their brains function and their behavior as well. Many parents have probably noticed that their children sometimes seem more easily distracted than before. Haven't they? However, not everything the internet brings is negative. In today's sharing session, we will explore the following key points together. Firstly, we will understand that not all effects of the internet are bad. Next, we will find out why the internet can make children more easily distracted when multitasking. After that, we will see that the internet also has positive aspects, such as helping children easily find information, reducing the burden of memorization, and allowing them to focus on other important skills. And finally, we will clarify a common belief. Does the internet truly help children expand their network of meaningful friends? Now, let's begin this journey of discovery together. Why do we need to care about the impact of the internet? To begin, let's learn a little about how the human brain works. Did you know that our brains, especially those of young children, are incredibly amazing? They have an ability called plasticity, which means they can constantly change their structure and neural connections to better adapt to their surrounding environment. Just like when we practice a new skill, when children repeatedly perform an action, such as playing games, watching videos, or interacting online, their brain cells create stronger connections. Gradually, performing that behavior becomes easier, almost automatic. And the internet, with its special appeal, vivid images, captivating sounds, constantly updated information, is an extremely powerful stimulus for the brain. Much stronger than the usual stimuli in everyday life. This explains why children are often drawn to and easily remember what happens online more than other activities. Scientists believe that spending many hours each day on the internet will definitely reshape children's brains in different ways. Neural connections may be strengthened in one area but weakened in another. It is important that we better understand these changes, because without a clear understanding, it is difficult to definitively conclude whether these changes are good or bad for a child's long-term development. Therefore, it is crucial for us to explore the impact of the internet together. Internet and children's attention spans. One of the things that perhaps worries many of us parents the most is our children's ability to concentrate in the digital age. And indeed, there is a basis for that concern. Imagine this. When a child is focused on watching an educational video on YouTube. For example, ding! A notification from Facebook pops up. The child curiously switches to see who just liked their photo. While scrolling through Facebook, there's a new message from friends on Zalo. And so on. The child's brain constantly has to switch between tasks and different streams of information. Constantly jumping from one thing to another while using the internet gradually trains a child's brain in a particular way. The brain starts to get used to being interrupted and even considers those intrusive pieces of information not as distractions but as something potentially more useful or appealing that needs to be prioritized. What is the result? When the child needs to focus on a specific task in real life, such as doing homework or reading a book, their brain still maintains an alert state, always ready to switch to a more attractive new stimulus that appears. This inadvertently makes the child more easily distracted, making it difficult to focus deeply on anything for a long period. Does this sound familiar? Internet helps reduce the burden of memorization. But not everything is negative. There's another interesting aspect that the internet brings, which is that it can help ease the burden on a child's memory. In the old days, we had to try to remember a lot of information, from math formulas and historical events to phone numbers. But today, with a few clicks, children can find almost any information they need on Google, Wikipedia, and countless other resources. This means that children don't need to cram so many facts into their heads anymore. The brain is freed from the pressure of having to memorize things mechanically. It might sound like children will know and remember less, but in fact, this opens up a wonderful opportunity. When not having to spend too much brain capacity on storing information, children can dedicate that valuable resource to higher-level thinking functions. They can focus on analyzing the information they find, evaluating its authenticity, connecting ideas, and most importantly, creating new things. These are precisely the extremely important skills in this 21st century. Therefore, the Internet's help in reducing the burden of memorization also has its positive side. Does the Internet really help children increase social connections? Finally, let's talk about a very relevant topic in the age of social media: relationships. The Internet seems to have brought our social lives to a new space. The online space. Children can use Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to connect with friends everywhere. Looking at their online friend list, it can reach hundreds, even thousands of people. This easily leads us to mistakenly believe that children have an extremely large social network. Social media also seems to make staying in touch easier. However, let's take a closer look. Among those hundreds or thousands of online friends, how many are real friends that children know, regularly talk to, and share with? There are many who are just fleeting connections. People children add friend because they are a friend of a friend, or even people they have never spoken to. The number of online friends can increase endlessly, but does it truly translate into meaningful, deep social relationships in real life? There is a very interesting scientific hypothesis called the social brain hypothesis. This hypothesis suggests that, biologically and cognitively, we humans are only capable of effectively maintaining a meaningful social network of about 150 people. This number is called Dunbar's number. This means that even if a child's Facebook friend list reaches 500 or 1,000 people, their brain cannot magically upgrade to manage and maintain meaningful relationships with all those connections as close friends in real life. Therefore, we need to understand that the number of online friends does not equate to the quality and real increase of meaningful social relationships. Conclusion. Dear parents, through the sharing just now, we can see that the Internet is indeed creating significant changes in the brains and ways of thinking and behaving of children. It can affect their ability to concentrate, change how they remember and process information, and even how they perceive social relationships. The most important thing is not to forbid or be overly fearful, but rather that we need to correctly understand these impacts, both positive and negative. With a clear understanding, we can effectively accompany our children, guide them on how to use the Internet healthily, exploit the benefits it brings, and at the same time limit potential risks. The journey of raising children in the digital age will certainly have many challenges. But I believe that with love, patience, and understanding, we will help our children develop in the best possible way. Thank you for listening.